Hi guys, my name is Louise, physical therapist and personal trainer, and in today's video I'll show you how to take your own measurements in a way that you can do it the same exact way, measure in the same exact spot every single week, so you can trust your measurements and you won't be so... Honestly, a lot of especially my online clients that have to take the measurements themselves get very confused by it, and they feel like it's hard to take the measurements in the same spot every single time. But if you follow this video guide that I'm about to give you, you will know exactly how to take your measurements exactly in the same spot, very accurate measurements every single week, and it'll allow you to better trust your measurements and maybe even go away from stepping on the scale every week and just trusting your measurements for tracking your progress, which I think is a really awesome thing, because the measurements can show us so much more than how much water we are holding, which is usually what the scale is telling us, let's be honest. Anyway, let's get into the meat of this video. What you need is a measuring tape, and you need a pen, and of course somewhere to write down your measurements. So now I'm going to show you how to do your measurements, how I personally do them, and how I make sure I'm always measuring the same spot, because that's probably the biggest hurdle that especially I have with my online clients. When I tell them to do their measurements, they tend to end up measuring like a little bit here and there every time, but this way you'll always get to measure exactly the same spot, and then you can better compare from week to week how your progress is if you know you're measuring the exact same place, and it's not like, okay, did I go a little bit up or down, maybe that was the error, that's why I gained or lost, and not really because my diet and training was on point. So what you need is a measuring tape. I use this one, but you can use any measuring tape you want. And yeah, without further ado, let's get measuring. I always like to start with measuring my chest, and basically you just have to find like where your nipple line is and measure around there. I like to measure myself in front of a mirror. I have a mirror here to the side, you can't see it, but then I can just make sure that the tape is aligned right around my back, and then I just look down here and see, and that is all. So I'll just write down here 93 centimeters around the chest. Next up is the waist, and for this I like to use a little pen, and what I do is I take my measurement tape from my belly button. I like to just start like in the middle of my belly button, and then I go up 10 centimeters. That's here, and then I make a little dot right there. And now again I can remove the measurement tape and take the measurement that I'm looking for. I just make sure to align it with that spot. Again, I just check in the mirror that everything is right. My measurement tape is kind of broken, but I think it's gonna go well anyway. That was 73.5. And then the belly button, so I'm just gonna roll it down here a little bit. Depending on where your problem areas are, you don't have to do all these measurements. I've just found these areas are usually where especially my female clients have issues. And then it's nice if if your belly button is your main problem area, then it can be nice to have the exact measurement of that spot. Again, I'm just checking that it's aligned right, and that's 80 centimeters around the belly button. The next one I'm going to do is like here around the lowest part of the belly, and what I like to do is just take a measurement tape again. I might just need to roll it down further. I'm going to roll it down to here, then I take my measurement tape, and I have my pen ready too. And I'm going to measure 10 centimeters down from the belly button. So take my tape and my pen, and I'm just going to measure 10 centimeters down from the belly button. There. And then I grab my pen. Again, I'm just going to make a little dot. And here I'll measure all the way around. That was 91.5. Just put that in here as well. For the glutes, I'm gonna go kind of in the opposite direction. So what I'll do by using the mirror for the first measurement that I do of the glutes, I'm going to stand here by the mirror, grab my measuring tape, place it on the widest part of my bum, measure across here, just making sure it's in the right place, and then from here I'll mark where I was. Now I'll measure up to the belly button, which is here. 16 centimeters for me. This is so individual, so I recommend doing it this way. So you measure across the widest point, find that spot, and then measure up to your belly button. And then next time you want to do your glute measurement, measure down 16 centimeters here. And again, I would recommend just making a dot. I'm just going to try and remember where I am. I don't want to make a dot right now here. But then you measure around. Just make sure it's still in that wide place. Yeah, perfect. Same measurement, 103 around the hips. Next up here, I have my quads. I want to measure my legs. Normally, what I do is I find the apex, so the top of the kneecap, and then I place my measurement tape there, and then I measure 10 centimeters up. This is what I do on almost all my clients, but on myself, because I'm long, so if you have really long legs like I do, I like to measure 15 centimeters up. And again, it's the little dot. Place your measurement tape around, make sure it's smooth all around. There you go. And don't flex anything, just stand as relaxed as you can and measure. So here I have 55.5. Just for fun, I'll just do the other side. See if they're the same. So finding that kneecap, go in and find it. Make sure you're relaxing your muscle when you want to find your kneecap. And you want to go all the way up to the top, the apex of the kneecap, measure 10 or 15 centimeters up. And then let's just see here. So my left leg is half a centimeter bigger than my right leg, it seems. But now my camera decided not to want to film anymore. I don't know what's wrong with it, so I'm just finishing up this video here from my iPhone. What I was saying is that when we do the bicep measurement, you want to measure here from the little part of your elbow, the bend in your elbow. And then you want to measure 10 centimeters up, and that can be a little bit difficult, but just do your best and find that spot. 10 centimeters up, try and have the measurement tape as straight as possible. And then when you find the spot, keep your finger there. Grab your pen. This is a difficult part, but it'll be okay. Yeah, sure. And then if you're not sure if you did it right, I recommend just measuring like one extra time just to make sure that your point of reference is right. Yeah. Then when you have that point of reference, again with one arm, this is definitely the trickiest one because you can only use one arm for this, but all the way around, and like I did before, I just like to make sure everything is right. I think this is nice and straight. 32 centimeters there, that's it. Again, you can do it on the other side if you want to, but usually I only do it on one side unless people have like some imbalance that we're trying to work on, but that's up to you what you want to do. I really hope you found this video useful and that it can help you take measurements, maybe not be so reliant on your scale, but be able to take measurements accurately and compare from week to week. If you gain or lose or whatever your goal is. My name is Louise, and if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of my future videos. If you know anyone who would like this video, could benefit from this, feel free to share it with them, and make sure you check out my Instagram and my blog for more free content like this. Remember, train right, stay fit.